Hello, Craig Crawshaw here, Oaks Bible Church, Santa Barbara, teaching us from 1 Corinthians 15 about Jesus' resurrection and the importance that has for your resurrection. We're going through 1 Corinthians 15, and today we're in verse 20, 1 Corinthians 15:20, where it says, "But now Christ has been raised from the dead, the first fruits of those who are asleep." What does first fruits mean? Well, first of all, even if we don't know anything about the historical meaning of it, first fruits implies that it's the first of something to follow, which it is. Christ's resurrection was the first of many others to follow, including yours if you're a believer in Jesus Christ. But let me give you the historical background of first fruits, which is really interesting. First fruits was a festival that was ordained back in Leviticus, the Old Testament, Leviticus chapter 23. Let me read for us verses 10 and 11. There was the Passover feast, which was the first feast of the Jews. That was the Passover lamb, celebrating the release of the Israelites from their bondage in Egypt. Moses led them through the Red Sea and so on. Then there was the Feast of Unleavened Bread, which they ate in haste that night before they went over the Red Sea. And the unleavened bread is associated with Jesus' burial. But now, let us look at the first fruits. It says in verse 10 of chapter 23, Leviticus, "Speak to the sons of Israel and say to them, when you enter the land," so after the 40 years in the wilderness, "when you enter the land which I'm going to give to you, and reap its harvest, then you shall bring in the sheaf of the first fruits of your harvest to the priest. He shall wave the sheaf before the Lord for you to be accepted. On the day after the Sabbath, the priest shall wave it." Now in AD 33, when we believe, as do most scholars, that Jesus died and was resurrected, the Passover was on Friday that week. The Passover, and that's why he died on Friday as the Passover lamb. And of course the Sabbath was on Saturday when he was in the grave. And it says the Feast of First Fruits was to be the day after the Sabbath. Well, what day would that be? It'd be the first day of the week, which is Sunday, the day that Jesus rose from the grave. And so he was the first fruits, that symbolism of the first fruits celebration the Jews had been doing for centuries. And he was the first of the offering, the first of the harvest. The harvest of barley, of course, began with the first fruits waving in the spring. But the first fruit waving of the resurrection was when Jesus rose from the grave. Do you know what's your best proof for the fact that you're going to rise as a Christian from the grave? It's Jesus' resurrection. He was the first fruits, and you're coming after that. Come on back. We'll get some more next time you come back. Craig Crawshaw here. God bless you.